She's got that look. She's got that style. She's got that conversation that makes you want to stay for a while. She's the all-American woman. Hi, everybody out there. Well, today I wanted to do a special video to give gratitude where it is due. Now, there have been a lot of things happening in the last few days in America that have been really significant. And I just wanted to say thank you as an American, because these things really affect us all, if you really think about it. And I'm just going to give my opinion on it, and also say thank you as an American to the ones that I think deserve the gratitude. So my first thank you goes to the Supreme Court. And this is the country's, not any state Supreme Court, which they may be owed gratitude to, but this is for the federal Supreme Court, our Supreme Court in Washington, D.C. I wanted to say thank you for not allowing the Republicans to take away health care coverage from people who live in states that chose not to recognize the Affordable Care Act. And I talked about this in a previous video about the Affordable Care Act, so I'm not going to elaborate on that further, but I do want to say thank you to the Supreme Court for that again. I also want to say thank you to the Supreme Court for ruling in favor of same-sex marriages, which makes it legal in all 50 states now. And I've been saying this along with many other people, that it had to become a federal law, because some states were taking their time in doing it, and some states were against it altogether, like Alabama, who is still trying to fight against it. But thank you, Supreme Court, for ruling it, because these are things that affect us. And I want to elaborate a little bit more on same-sex marriage, because I'm a person that I look at it not as how something just affects me. I also try and look at how something would affect the other person. And I remember a time when, not that I was alive during this time, but I know my history. I know American history, not like in great detail, but I know enough to know that at one point in time, the only people that were allowed to be married were a man and a woman, a white man and a white woman. That was the only two people that were allowed to be married in the United States of America. Slaves could not be married. People of different races could not be married. People that were, in this case, that were the same gender could not be married. And it was all based on, what the country, the religious factors in the Bible, basically. And people were going by it. They used the Bible to say that slaves could not be married. They used the Bible to say that people of different races could not be married. They used the Bible to say that people of the same gender could not be married. And I say, if you're religious and you believe that two people should not be married based on race, based on sex, based on whatever, then that is your prejudice, and that is on you. And you can say, yeah, I'm doing it because I'm trying to uphold God's word. But nothing in God's word tells you that you have the right to take away a person's civil liberties. And that's exactly what America was doing when they weren't allowing people of the same gender to be married. And the same with all those other all the other times that they decided that two people should not be married because they felt that it was not traditional. Interracial marriages at one time weren't traditional. Marriages among two people of the same race that didn't have the same stature as others was considered untraditional. So, I don't agree with any of it. If two consenting adults want to be married and they're not breaking any other laws in doing so, which no, they're not, right? Then I think they should be married and they love each other. They're consenting adults. And I don't see anything wrong with it. That's my point of view. So thank you for the Supreme Court, for upholding that law from the states that already made it lawful in their states, but also making it legal in all 50 states now. Alright, so that's my thank yous to the Supreme Court. Now I want to say thank you to South Carolina and stores like Wal-Mart and Amazon.com and any other retail store that has decided not to sell the Confederate flag, and also back again to the South Carolina and other states have finally decided to take the Confederate flag down from state buildings, government buildings. This is such a great thing. You don't know how much beautiful America is with that flag no longer flying in public areas. And I know there's going to be protests, and I know there are going to be people that are not happy about it. Progress is not always easy, but that doesn't mean we should not keep moving forward. And this is moving forward in a positive manner. Okay. Last but not least, and this is one that I'm feeling a bit weird about saying thank you about because it's actually targeting an individual person. But I think since that person is running for President of the United States, that it does affect America. So I want to say thank you so much to Univision and also to NBC for cutting ties with Donald Trump, business ties with him, and no longer, dealing with him based on his narrow-minded and ignorant comments about Mexican immigrants. I don't know who his publicist is. I don't know who's running his campaign. More than likely it's him. But to say those things about a group of people that you probably not had any personal contact with, to say something like that and generalize an entire race based on something you probably heard or something you think you know is just so ignorant and so narrow-minded. And I can't believe he doesn't see it. But I am glad that NBC and Univision, because Univision was the first to say we're no longer televising the Miss American pageant, which Donald Trump is in charge of, and then NBC also saying we are breaking ties with Donald Trump. We're not showing the Miss America pageant either, and we'll go one step further and we're gonna say that we may show The Apprentice, but if we do, he won't be a part of it any longer. And I didn't even know they could do that. I mean, I thought he was, it's his show. But who cares? I am so proud of them for doing that. And I say thank you for doing that. When you make these types of comments about people, there has to be some type of consequence to it, to let you know it's not right. And it's not. There's nothing right about what he said. Nothing right. And he probably believes, he does. He believes that he's honest in his statements and he believes they're factual, which there was nothing factual about them. They were totally opinionated. Ugh. But I won't even elaborate on that further. This video is about giving gratitude to those people that made steps, and those groups and those institutions that have made steps forward in a positive way for the American people. And so I say thank you. Thank you so much. And I hope more changes, more positive changes are made in the future. Oh my gosh, there's so many other things that need to be done. But Rome wasn't built in a day, right? And America won't change overnight. But these are some steps in the right direction. So thank you. Well, that's all I have for today. I hope to see you next time. And whether you agree or disagree with my video or my statements, I'd like to see your comments down below the screen. Start another conversation. So thank you. And take care.